Hey, my name is Shara Chapman. I did a video a number of days ago about one day in the life of a person with borderline personality disorder, and then I went on to what it was like for me living through a day of having the disorder. So I explained all about that, and I found that it had a lot of likes and a lot of views, and people are interested in it. So I thought for a while about what I can do to better explain things a little, and what I've decided to do is to put different videos and narrow them down to different incidents that have happened to me. I'm just warning you guys ahead of time that this is not a video which is for children or anyone who is willing to who can't deal with distressing stuff. So I'm just warning you, if any of you guys are like that, make sure to stop now, okay? Alright, and if you're interested in this, just keep watching. Right, so this incident is really scary. Anyway, I'm just gonna tell you all about it and we'll see what happens. Okay, you ready? I put my shoes on, grabbed my bag, and placed my jacket on so I wouldn't get cold. I checked the pocket of my bag to make sure that my phone and my wallet were inside, zipping it up after me. I left my bedroom and closed the door. Anxiety was tearing me apart on the inside. I left my unit and walked down the steep hill towards the gates. Once I reached the gate, I turned around to make sure that nobody was following me. Realizing that I was alone, I turned the corner and headed towards the tram stop. I looked at the sign to see how long I would have to wait. The tram was coming in 3 minutes. I wouldn't have to wait for very long at all. I sat down on the bench and waited, looking around at the coming cars on the road. Time passed awfully slowly, and the anxiety inside me began to grow and grow and grow. More and more and more anxiety hit my chest, and I didn't even know where I was anymore. When the tram finally arrived, I climbed the steps onto the tram and sat down onto one of the seats. The doors closed and the tram began to move. I began to stare into space, completely unaware of what was happening around me. When it came to my stop, I got off the tram and began to walk. I can't say how long I was walking for. My heart was thumping and I began to feel very hot and clammy. Up ahead there was a Target store, a big Target store. When I got into the Target store, I walked around feeling dazed, weak. I was looking around at the shelves with my heart still pounding fast. The anxiety was very intense at that moment and I didn't feel like I had any other option. I passed the kitchen section, then the toys section, then the clothing section. It wasn't until then that my eyes came to the cleaning section and I stopped walking. Right in front of my eyes was a box with a clothing iron inside. When I saw the picture of the clothing iron, my eyes began to focus. I didn't exactly know what I was staring at as such, but I was unaware, whatever. I had everything I needed here. I wasn't sure what exactly I needed, but I took the box off the shelf and headed towards the checkout desk. As the checkout lady was scanning the box, I couldn't look away from the iron picture on the box. It's almost like I was possessed. Once I paid, I grabbed the plastic bag with the iron inside and stuffed it inside my backpack, zipping it up afterwards. I left Target and waited for the tram back. As I waited for my concentration, went back to the anxiety, filling me like fireworks. They were about to explode, seriously, inside me. When the tram finally arrived, I climbed onto the tram and waited for my stop. I am unsure how long the journey back was, actually. At the stop, I climbed off, turned the corner and walked until I reached the gates once again. Once I reached the gates, I walked up the driveway and entered my unit door. It was quiet inside, a little too quiet. I walked through the kitchen and down the hallway until I reached the bathroom on the right side of the hallway. I entered the bathroom and closed the door. I began to open my backpack, pulling out the box with the iron inside. I'm not sure I really knew what I was doing at the time, but I seemed to have some idea. When I opened the box lid, I grabbed the clothing iron, took off the packaging, and plugged the iron cord into the wall. I filled up the water guard and turned the clothing iron on. Once it began to boil, I unplugged it once again and took it to my bedroom, just across the hallway from the bathroom. I closed my bedroom door and went to the power point in the wall and plugged it in again. This was right next to my bed. I sat on the floor and took my shoes off. This is where it gets scary. Just warning you guys. The clothing iron began to hiss once the water had finished boiling. I picked up the clothing iron with both hands and placed it on top of my left foot. Of course, I didn't exactly know what I was doing, but for some reason, this just made sense. Maybe it took away the pain a little inside. My heart began to pound again. And even though I was burning my foot, I wasn't even aware that I was burning my foot. I wasn't 100% aware that I was doing harm to myself at all, actually. I don't know. I don't know why. I don't know how long it had been on my foot before I heard a knocking on my bedroom door. I looked around and saw somebody at the door, staring at me, horrified. They kicked it off my foot. By this time, I had done some damage. They unplugged the iron and put me onto my bed. I'm not really remembering much from this moment, but it was very scary. I wasn't really aware of it at the time. They grabbed the phone and looked up what they should do. They grabbed a big bucket, filled it with water and ice, and put my foot inside. After a bit of time, they pulled it out, put me into the car, and drove me to the emergency department at the hospital. I was just so unaware. I wasn't knowing what was going on, really. I was just like, what's going on? I don't understand. I was not waiting for long at emergency department. They pulled me into a side room and looked carefully at my burnt left foot. They almost immediately told me that I needed a skin graft and were wheeling me away to get the operation. Operation? I needed an operation? I thought to myself, huh? Why do I need an operation, right? Couldn't think of that. Couldn't even think twice about that. I've never had one of those before. Never had a skin graft before, ever. They were briefly explaining what a skin graft operation was, telling me that because I had no skin left in my left foot, then they would have to take some skin from somewhere else to replace the dead skin. My burn was full depth, they explained, which meant it burns through every layer of skin, into the nerve. The next thing I knew, they had put a mask over my face, and I was asleep. When I woke up, I was in horrible pain. You could not even imagine it. I was bandaged up and weak. I ended up spending a good number of days in hospital because of this incident. When I was discharged, I was given crutches to help me walk. I would need these for a long time. And this story is just one out of many, many, which I will be sharing on YouTube with everyone, with the world, letting you guys know just what it is like to have to live with borderline personality disorder. It's not my fault. I can't help it. So this is just what it's like. So anyway, I'll talk to you next time and let you guys know about the next thing in my next video. Okay, if you want to, just comment down below, say anything, ask any questions, and I will answer. Okay, thank you. Bye.